levels. And yes, we were creating millionaires. I'd like to say this. I love creating more millionaires. It's why I got into politics. One of the reasons I like when people are successful. I love to hear stories about my constituents who came from poor families, whose mothers were household servants, whose fathers never went to high school. I love to hear about these smart little girls from Gert Town who got straight A's in school, went down the street to Xavier University, got their pre-med degrees, went to become a doctor, became a doctor, and now they're millionaires. I don't decry that. I celebrate it. I'm the one that fought for them to get their scholarships. Not individually, but generally. It's what I do. It's what senators do. It's what House members do. I am so mad at people saying to me as a Democrat, we don't like people that are rich. We have something against them. Nothing could be further from the truth. I love the book, The Millionaire Next Door. It talks about how it's a myth that most millionaires in America have inherited the money. The fact of the matter is, we've created such a great country over 250 years. We've actually found the way for poor people to go from nothing to huge wealth and to create a life-changing opportunity for their children and grandchildren. We celebrate it. We write movies about it. Our libraries are full of books about it. There's nothing wrong with that. So when we had a surplus, I thought we should give tax breaks and use some of that money. But today we're being asked to provide tax cuts when the deficit is, and I want to get this number because it's shocking actually, it is 10 times greater than the surplus. It is 1.294 trillion. That is what the annual deficit is this year. So I'm going to go back. When we did the tax cuts, we were generating $128 billion surplus every year. Surplus is as far as the eye could see. We thought, well, maybe we should give a third of this bounty in tax cuts. We had made investments in other things. But today, after what the Senator of Vermont has described as the economic inequality in the country, when we have no surplus in sight, the biggest, the largest, most ferocious recession since the Great Depression, and we're running an annual deficit of $1.29 trillion, someone had the nerve on the other side of the aisle to say, wait, before you close the deal, before you shut the door, before you stop the printing press, please put in the people in America that make over $1 million. Now, for that $50 billion, there are lots of ways that we could save if we could correct this deal. I don't think we can. But if we could, as the senator knows, do we have men and women in the military? Do you know what their COLA is going to be this year, Senator from Vermont? Because it's about, I think it's, what, only 1.4%?
That's what my understanding is. And
it's
I
about,
think that a lot of the folks in the military are very upset about that.
Every person in uniform is only getting a COLA this year of 1.4%. Did anyone over there, when they raised their hand to say, let's put the millionaires in, did you all not think about this? We could have taken that money and given it to them for 1 year bonus. They most certainly deserve it. They're coming back without eyes, legs, leaving some of their limbs in Iraq and Afghanistan. Did anybody over there think about that? The senior citizens that Senator has been such an advocate for, they're not seeing the kind of COLA that they normally get. Talk about stimulus. Every dollar I think you give to a senior citizen, Senator, would you say, it gets right away spent. They have to buy food for it. They're not going out and perusing, a yacht or an airplane that they could or could not buy. They don't really need it. They need to eat. They go to the corner drugstore or they need to get their medicine. They spend it. I mean, yes, we give money to the poor on the Democratic side and to the middle class because it's the right thing to do, but it actually happens to be also the smart thing to do for the economy and for jobs. So when people say, oh, the senators flip-flopped, on taxes, I don't understand how to say something. I voted for tax cuts when we had a surplus. I am challenged about how to address this package. Most certainly want to extend it for the middle class. Most certainly want to extend unemployment. People are unemployed not because they're lazy, for heaven's sakes. They're unemployed because there are no jobs for them. It's some of the longest term unemployment that we've had in our nation's history. So the other side is making us feel, they say to us, well, we gave you the unemployment, so surely you should give us the tax breaks for millionaires. Is that really an equal trade? And if somebody believes that, actually, I've heard commentators say it, on different networks. I've been on these news programs, and they say, but you got the unemployment, so that's a fair trade. If there's a senator that thinks that, I'd love for them to say that next week, because I think that would be great to have on the record. So this situation is what the Louisiana families in my state are facing. So obviously, I would like to provide tax relief for these families. We have less than 1.8% are making over $200,000. And I'm checking right now to find out how many families in Louisiana actually make over $1 million. I was told it was 3,200. That number might be too high. The senator from West Virginia told me in his state it's 599 people in West Virginia make over $1 million a year. But yet it looks like that is the package. So we're going to be in a tough situation without amendments, having to vote for it. I'm going to see what my constituents are saying over the weekend. But I want to say one more thing about this inequity and then turn it back over to the senator from Vermont. Besides the other things that have been put into the record about the inequality, the challenges before our country right now, I came across some data, and I'd like the senator to, if he had just one more minute, to be on the floor to listen to this, because it's it was very startling.
Senator Landrieu, I'm not going anywhere. So take as much time as you want.
I thank the senator. I wasn't sure what his time was,
here.
but
I'm here.
I'm the chair of the Small Business Committee, and I had a hearing. I have many hearings, but one in the last 3 months, and some of the testimony was startling to me. I wanted to share this with the senator. It's in the census data of the 2000 census data. Someone was testifying about why this recession was taking so long to get over, and they were giving just some figures about the status of the economy and the wealth or incomes of broad sections of the population. And they said, sort of off the cuff, just like, and ho-hum, and today is Monday, they said, and by the way, the median net worth of households in America, the average median net worth, not income, net worth of households is $67,000. So that's very interesting. I thought it would be higher than that. I mean, that's taking everything that you own minus everything you owe, and the difference is your net worth. I thought people might have more than that. I mean, in terms of equity in their homes, a couple of $100,000. 67,000. It was concerning to me. So I said, well, do you have that broken down by race by any chance? Oh, yes, ma'am, we have that. So would you share it? They did, and I'm going to share it with you because I have not recovered from what I heard. The gentleman says to me, well, for white families in America, the average median, which is 50% more, 50% less, the median for white households, Senator, is $87,000. $87,000. For Hispanic families, it is $8,000. And for African American families, it is 5,000